Oh, welcome to the big show. By the way, Ben Troupe is in the green room. Wow, buddy. Wow. What does that mean?
Loud.
That's loud for you. Turn down your audio.
Okay.
Turn it down. Dial it down. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the big show. I'm Brenden Martin, son of one Buddy Martin. I'm holding an empty glass of wine, which I'll be.
What's up, bro? What's up, bro?
What's up? What's up,
bro?
Hey, you're watching our show. You're watching our show. Smash the subscribe button. We really need more subscribers. You guys have got to get it together out there. Get it together out there. What's going on? Hey, buddies.
Brendo, good to see you. Good to see you, Brenden.
Yeah, what's up? What's up? Yeah, we got Ben Ruby's all
undisclosed location tonight.
Was this still undisclosed? Looks like a pretty fancy spot.
On assignment, undisclosed.
I don't think you're on assignment. I've taken over the entire studio. You're not coming back here.
Ben Troupe says he's having problems getting in because he's
not. He's right there. I see him. He's just not going to be on real quick. We're coming to you, bro. We got to set up the show, man. Just hold up. I see you in black and white. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, listen. Welcome to the big show. I'm this guy, Brenden Martin. He's Buddy Martin. You are watching the Buddy Martin show, and I'm drinking a California Red King Stag. It's actually your wine, Dad. So there you go. I'm in your house drinking your wine, wearing your underwear. Okay. Are you uncomfortable yet? I am. Hey, smash the subscribe button. We're going to have a big show tonight. It's Orange and Blue Bloods, buddy. What are we going to talk about tonight? Tell the people.
What else? It's been the common theme all week long. Where is this thing going? And is Billy Napier a dead man walking? Now, this is a holiday show. We don't want to make it too depressing, okay?
What do you mean the holiday show? The Christmas is over.
No.
Let's go.
No. Now we've been talking pretty harshly the last couple of days. Last night, David Molson and I and Allie Pete Wilbur had a conversation about the reality of what's coming up this season. What faces Billy Napier? He didn't seem to be able to have a lot of good luck lately. And we concluded he's a good coach and a good guy, but something's got to change and is changing as we speak. Right. We just don't know what because they're not very forthcoming about the changes. Now, I'm going to try not to be too harsh
changes.
Tonight. Yeah, I'm not going to be harsh tonight. I'm going to be not. I'm going to listen. No. So I want to start by making an announcement tonight.
Are you going to do that before we're going to do our open and all that stuff, or are you going to do that?
No, go ahead. Put the open on there.
All right. Well, listen. We'll be back right after this amazingly edited open that is the iconic open of the Buddy Martin show, performed by one late, great Jim Kirk. We'll talk about him another time.
Here's the Jim Kirk. Dilly to all the folks out there tonight. It's going to be a great show. Hang out. We'll be right back after.
Time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
Better, stronger, faster.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Hey, what if the voice calls while you're gone?
Take a message.
Bye.
You ready, champ?
I'm ready for this my whole life.
I'm incapable of small talk. But that's why you love me, right?
Kind of intimidating to be in the presence of so many great athletes.
Dilly to one, Mr. Ben Troupe of 84 Reasons podcast. Buddy Martin on my right, and I'm right here. Welcome to the big show, gentlemen.
Look to here, Mr. Ben Troupe. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. Merry Christmas to you guys, even though we're a couple of days moving. I like the energy with Sinead Martin and the second coming of and one Brenden. No, man, I'm loving the energy from y'all guys tonight.
Don't you feel like it's like Tiger Woods and his son a little bit? You know, kind of like that a little bit. Where he had it. What did he say today?
Not Tiger Woods.
What he said? What did he say the other day? He says, Dad, how'd you guys play? He goes, Dad, we just sucked at putting. And you look at Tiger's face. Oh, cringy, Dad.
And that's the only time he get to say what he really feels about his dad when everybody's listening. So you got to take it when you get it, Brenden. Whenever people give you an out, listen, go ahead and
take your shot.
You got to take your shots against when you're in the shadow of greatness. You got to take your shots.
Hey, speaking of which, can I take a shot right here now? I got my boy Ben on and Brenden. I want to say this because it's important to me. Maybe nobody
We're
else.
brothers, by the way, Ben. You know that. Yeah, you and I are we're brothers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm in an undisclosed location on assignment, but tonight I'm going to reveal that location. I can't wait to tell you about it because I have had I wouldn't say it's an outpouring, but a number of people reach out to me in this new vicinity I'm in for the time being who are big Gators, and they've been wonderful to talk to. They've been encouraging. And I'm really loving it. I really am. There's some nice people who are contacting me. So I'm just saying hello to all the folks out there who've been in touch. Appreciate it very much. Thanks for your comments, encouragement. I got a couple of shout-outs I want to make sure I get here tonight because there are people that have been very. First of all, Brenden, our friend David Arnoff, who's a physician up here at Fort Walton, could not have been nicer.
He's my boy. That guy.
Yeah, he's one of the members of the board. Where the Gator Club I am right now. Thanks for his nice comments, his encouragement, his generosity, and also he was, I think he was like the third or fourth G&K member, right?
Number 3.
Yeah. Now,
my favorite number, the Trinity.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I know sometimes we get noticed, Ben. You're pretty famous. People know you, Brenden. You are. Every now and then I do.
Oh yeah.
I got the biggest kick out of this one thing. I mentioned it yesterday. I'm having my wife reinstall, and I'm sitting back in the back of our condo here, high up top, by the way, right overlooking beautiful St. Andrews Bay here in Bay County, beautiful. And there's a knock at the door, and my fiance Dawn answers the door, and I said, "Tell him to come on back, Dawn. It's okay." This young guy walks in and says, "I know that voice. Now I'm 300 miles from Ocala, right?" And so he walks back and he says, "I know your voice. Where do I know your voice?" I said, "I don't know. You're a Gator fan, big time Gator fan." He said, "Okay." I said, "You ever watch a show? He said, "Are you Buddy Martin?" And I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "I knew that voice. I just started watching 2 weeks ago." And he works for WOW TV here, and it's a father of 4, young guy. He was so thrilled. I was even more thrilled than he was to be this far away from home and have someone recognize my voice. Are you kidding me? My own son didn't recognize my voice. So,
God, do I recognize your voice like it's nobody's business?
So it was really fun. He was thrilled. I was thrilled. I got a copy of the book, signed it for him, and gave it to him. He fixed my TV, and I thought, how neat is that? And we became buds right there. And he says, so he's big time Gator fan. Then other people around here. Mike Varner locally just contacted me and said, "Want to go to the Gator Club with you? We have a good Gator Club here." And then my friend Jake Whitfield, who was just here, Brenden, yesterday with his family, eating across the street at their favorite restaurant. There have been nice comments to me from Peter Gallagher, old buds of mine, Richard Barber, etc. Really nice thoughts. I want to say thank you very much for the supportive comments. And yes, I'm going to reveal, drum roll, Brenden, where I am tonight. We don't have one. Thank you. I am right now, if it weren't, in fact, it was dark outside, I'd be looking at beautiful St. Andrews Bay in Bay County in Panama City. That's where I am. That's where I'll be. Yeah, there you go. That studio looks familiar there. Wait,
it's your old studio. It's my house now, so I'm taking over. It's a takeover. It's a takeover, is what this. I that was a long rollout. Are we there? Yeah, we there.
I'll go in 10 minutes. Okay. So anyway, it goes take a beat, will you? So anyway, I'm here. Good to be here. Just for those who ask, no, nothing's changing. I'll be continuing to do the show, writing the column, working Gator Bait, and bringing in some new friends. And we have a new territory here, Brenden. What's our studio called? Our Studio 12. Now what that is or where you are?
Studio B for Brenden.
No, it's not. Studio 12. It will be 12 East. It will be 12 East, and this will be 12 West. Okay? That's what it is. Okay?
East and West? Right. Okay. That's weird. How about North and South?
You don't get to say. Okay, I'm telling you. This is Studio
12. You hear that sound? That's the sound of people clicking the channel, Dad.
Yeah, right. Well, let's tell them about your wonderful life, and then maybe they'll click it back.
My life sucks. There you go. I mean, you know, it is what it is. I'm a Gator fan right now. It's not good. Not good right now for me. I'm not so happy about what's going on because we're talking about being excited about nutritionists, and I'm not excited about nutritionists.
Ben, do you find people like this annoying?
That's the best news of the day.
And disruptive.
No, you know what's funny? No, I don't. I'm gonna tell you why. This second, what Brenden is saying. Look, man. At the end of the day, when Brenden said he started with, I'm a Gator fan. So listen, that means for life. That means you don't get to switch sides. That means you don't. It's like, you know, it's like, think about this. We got all Gator fans on here. We got a Tampa Bay Rays fan in the upper right hand corner. Those of you who don't know, Tampa Bay Rays, right up there.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, Buddy. Buddy is the Tampa. And during the season, me and Buddy say this: we only wear our Tampa Bay Rays and Braves hats during the season. I mean, like football season though. Football season and baseball season. Not the baseball season lasts too long. But Buddy, look, like the new digs, love it. Listen, love it.
Classy.
Hey man, congratulations, man, on the fiance, the new missus, man. Hey, as long as the missus know that I'm your grandson, I don't care what no one says because I already told somebody.
That's it.
Brenden, you wasn't here when I told you I had an argument with a was
watching. Actually, I'm always watching.
Because we live in such a politically correct world, and you can't offend nobody, right?
Oh, I do. I do it regularly.
He's like, you on the Buddy Martin show? I said, yeah, it's my grandfather's show. He goes, what? I said, what are you trying to say? We're trying to say we'll look like so I pulled up a picture of Buddy, right? And I got it next to my face. Listen, and I said, what are you trying to say? He was like, nothing. Okay. And he just walked. When I tell you, that's the only time I've ever had to keep a straight face. I wanted to bust out. I said, if I
got to start recording that stuff. That's gold right there.
But what was funny was, you always got a random on look at it and say, "Oh, that is his grandfather," and they know nothing about what I'm talking about.
And they don't want to say nothing either.
I'm like, you're a liar, sir. Like you've never. But at the same time, I just can appreciate the fact that the guy I was talking to, he wanted to say, but y'all don't, but we don't what?
What? What are you trying to say? You being racist?
Yeah,
don't be racist.
I said, what are you I said, this is what I said. I said, what are you trying to say? And he was like, no. And mind you, anything he would have said, I wouldn't have had a rebuttal. He didn't say that. What are you trying to say? I'm trying to say I can't.
My gosh.
It reminds me of the old Eddie Murphy and Joe Piscopo episode where they would sing, you are white and I am, you are black and I am white. You are blind as a bat and I have sight. Hey, amigo, conmigo, let's not fight. They used to sing the old Ebony and Ivory.
You got to listen. If you can't listen, at the end of the day, if you can't have fun in this life, I mean, life's gonna come with its own stresses and worries and bills and taxes. And the funny thing, well, you always get the guy that says, "I can see the resemblance." I'm about to say because I'm.
I see that. I see it right here in the cheekbones. What it is? It's the glasses. It's the glasses. The glasses.
I said it's because he's darker than me, and he was like, "Yeah." I'm telling you, mind you, people.
Happens. It does happen.
We were in like a sports bar, so
we should come on night. I should wear one of those hats like you got.
Listen, buddy.
That would be funny.
At the end of the day, the guy says. One guy says, "Oh, you to my buddy Martin? He wrote the books, right?" I said, "Yeah, that's why I wrote the book, just like my freaking grandfather." What are you trying to say? He's like, but y'all got different last names. I said, "Yeah, because I got married."
Hey, listen.
I just like to have fun, man. At the end of the day,
you do.
The gentleman who I did it to, when he was getting ready to walk out, I did stop and say, it's not really my grandfather. He just said like, wait a minute. What? I said, listen, you're fine. We having fun, man. It's all good. Because then he said, because I knew, because I got Buddy Martin's book. He said he doesn't say, listen, man, he's a private person. He don't like to cap people. Jesus Christ. Get a man some credit.
Just say page 54.
Exactly.
Say page 54.
He's in Studio 12, and then his son's in Studio B. I think it's called Studio B. These are what Brenden said.
Right, Studio B. Yeah. I think we had Dick. Yeah, that's what it is. Call me Smoke.
Hey, by the way, our friend David Arnoff is logged on here. I don't know if you see the message, Brenden, but he's made several comments here. He's a Devil Rays fan too. He says Panama City, very nice. He says, hit your button, people. Thanks, Dr. Arnoff. We appreciate that very much.
Thanks, Doc. Just make sure that's a little button down there. Hit the subscribe button. Hey, don't be afraid to throw a little tip in our jar in there. It's ladies' night tonight. It's ladies' night tonight. Everyone, just go ahead and you want to get your chat to the top. Just give us a few bones. Don't be afraid. You tip the guy in the subway. You tip the guy playing on the street. You tip us. Why not?
Are we busking? Are we busking now?
I don't know what that means.
Busking means you go out in the street and play for music.
Busking. Wow. Busking. See, folks, everyone, that's a new word. Kids, tonight, busking is the word of the day.
It's been around.
Well,
can I just say one thing tonight? Right? It's always good to see a 6-6 Rutgers team beat up on a 7. Like that.
And Buddy Martin just Buddy Martin just answered the question. So those of you who be online saying, "Hey Ben, why you always got something to say? Y'all ain't go undefeated. Y'all in the bowl game." So listen, I talk trash for life. It has nothing to do. Listen, but here's the thought: you think people want to see that what they just saw from you in? Nobody want to see that. No. So you make it to a bowl game and you look like that, right? Florida State.
Why go?
Listen, Florida State can't find nobody.
Oh my God!
Can't find nobody want to play for them. They got guys playing on Saturday. They got guys playing Georgia. Even their family members like, why they got you playing?
They're gonna run over to Tallahassee High School to get a couple of backups to roll in there.
Listen, they asked a couple of trainers. and a couple of equipment men. Hey, bro, y'all got eligibility? Well, we need somebody to run out.
You're gonna come in and play some water boy. Hey, look, if you're not going to be in a bowl game, it's really the best spot to be in because everyone's already talked enough trash. You can just take shots after everybody. So I'm going to be a Gator fan till I die. So but we're in the pole position to talk smack.
Yeah, this reminder from our friend Kevin Brockway, the Gainesville Sun, who tweeted, "Florida 2024 season opener at the Swamp versus Miami will pit 11-14 Billy Napier versus 12-13 Mario Cristobal in the what can be better than coined in the Hot Seat Bowl." That's his comment. So it's starting off ugly. Miami lost their 5th straight bowl game, and 11th of their last 12. Is that right? Can you believe that?
We are a couple of years removed from Miami going to bowl games, not scoring a point. So please, right? Just because you made it, okay, yeah,
okay.
They'd have been better off if they hadn't made it.
Yeah, and listen. For those of you fans out there who say things like, "Hey, you guys need to be humble in defeat." No, bump that. We're talking trash.
No, we're talking
trash because if Miami would have won, everybody would have been shocked. Even Miami, they would have been shocked too.
They would have been the most surprised. I mean, we're busking tonight, anyways. It doesn't matter. Listen, let's get on topic a little bit. We are 20 minutes into the show, so gentlemen, what game are you looking forward to watching? Probably the most, other than these really great. They're all weed whacker bowls to me at this point.
The Bad Boy Pinstripe Bowl. Oh wait a minute, I just saw that. Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe
Bowl. No.
I mean, obviously, I'm looking forward to one of the college football playoffs. That being them boys from Michigan going up against the boys from Alabama, because Harbaugh gets way too much credit, in my opinion, for just beating Ohio State. Okay, yeah, you done the last 3 years. You've been there for 30 years. You finally won the last 3. But if you go back to when the college football playoff teams got announced, when Michigan saw they was playing Alabama, all the wind got sucked out of the entire room. They was like, really? Yes. They was like, and the 4th team is Alabama. God, because they know. They know. And I will say this. Bill O'Brien, who used to be the offensive coordinator, of the Alabama Crimson Tide told Jalen Price he shouldn't play quarterback. You need to move to another position. I'm saying this to say Bill O'Brien, for Bill, you don't know who was the head coach of the Houston Texans, and he had Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins and didn't win anything. To then get the offensive coordinator spot at Alabama. Coordinator, stop telling players who's been recruited to play a sport, a position, they shouldn't play it. Lamar Jackson was told he shouldn't be a quarterback. He's getting ready to be back-to-back. He's getting ready to win his second MVP award in the NFL unless something goes crazy. Jalen Milroe, he said, quote, who got the last laugh? For those of people who don't like the fact that Jalen Milroe said something about his coach, you've never done anything significant. I want to talk trash to any coach that ever told me I wasn't good enough. Not that what he said was wrong. It was dead wrong. So Jalen Milroe, enjoy yourself, young man. Go out there and do what you do. But Bill O'Brien, at the end of the day, Bill O'Brien traded DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a refrigerator and a Maytag and a Maytag wash and dryer. Bill O'Brien shouldn't be saying anything about anybody. But Jalen Milroe, handle your business, and guess what, Michigan? Y'all get to feel the blunt of it. Yeah, y'all get to feel the blunt of what Bill O'Brien said. But yeah, because the reason why I say why not Washington, Texas? I'm just saying, like, is that going to be,
some people think it's going to, Washington's going to be in the dance.
It's going to be high scoring. I think Texas has too much of a complete team. I think Washington has a great offense. They got a great offense, but every time they win, it'd be 49-48. 52-51. It's not like they got the score because their defense can't stop nobody. But I know people say, well, why don't you say Georgia, Florida State? Because that's going to be a shellacking.
40 players missing. 40 players missing.
40 players. It's called the I don't give a bleep bowl. It's that's such a bitchy move too. I don't know. Come on. It's like I'm going to take my ball and go home.
One more. Listen, if you're Brock Bowers, what else can you do in the college football? You don't want to play in it? I get it. Some of these guys at Florida State, just because you've gone 13-0, that's a team distinction. That doesn't mean that you should be declaring early and going to the transfer. No. You think 21 guys are going to get drafted? No, that's not going to happen. But at the end of the day, these agents are going to tell you whatever you want to hear because they want to represent you and all these different things. But I got one more. Think about this. If you go undefeated, if you would have went out there and made it a game against Georgia and beat Georgia, that's going to help your draft stock. Louisville can't do that.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, hey, man.
To me, it's just straight Florida State style anyways. That's just straight up Seminole. That's Seminole move right there, man. It's Tyler Trashy, baby. You're a bitchy baby. Go take your ball and go home. Wine. Like
now Florida State is looking for a conference to call home because you got that whole debacle. They want to, do the buyout. But the thing is, if you do the buyout, who's going to buy you? Who wants Florida State? At this, I'm still a highly recognized brand, but if 13-0 can't get you in,
you're going to play in the Big Ten, so you can have some of those great rivalries with Purdue and Illinois. And come on, man.
The weather's so great over there too. They have such great weather for football.
It's gonna be a slobber knocker. We talking about we got the Maryland Terps versus Florida.
It's gonna be a barn burner down there in Purdue.
I'm just saying, a lot of these. But listen, most boys from the state of Florida don't even got a big coat, let alone the fact that they don't realize that, if it's cold enough, rain can turn to snow. Now, that's how it snows? Hell yeah, that's how it snows.
And I hate to tell you, the cute girls don't go to school there at all. Like, not even kind of. They're like, come to school to Purdue because this is where all the hotties are. Nope.
The guys don't even have long pants down here, They don't have long pants.
I was spoiled. I was spoiled when I was at Florida for 4 years because at the end of the day, yes, we at the top. We North Florida, North Central Florida, if you want to call it that. But you get spoiled real quick. You want to know there was a one Byron Leftwich who went first round to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who played at Marshall, came to Florida, and they got smoked. It was ugly. They said, "How you guys getting ready for Florida?" Oh, we wear 2 sweatsuits. What is that going to do? Well,
it's called long underwear.
We listen. They said we turn up the heat a lot. What's a lot? up there in Marshall. Oh man,
let me jump in there. Let me jump in. Sorry, let me jump in there real fast because I know we got Franz coming on in just a second. We don't have our commercial. Let me just say, for the behalf of the folks at Meldon Law, if you don't have a ticket for the Florida Kentucky basketball game on the 6th, it's Meldon Law Day. You can go to their website, Meldon Law, actually go to their Facebook page and have a chance to win a ticket. And they're giving away T-shirts for that night. The 6th of January, early this year, Kentucky comes to town. Florida might even be competitive in this game. So check it out. The second thing I want to say while I have the microphone is that did someone ask about a bowl game? Okay, or a playoff game, I think it talks about. Well, here's one. It's a New Year's 6. It's not even a national championship. I've got an upset special here. I think Missouri.
Lock, heads up. Upset special, Buddy Martin. It's a lock. Okay, go ahead. That's my open for it.
Sorry, my ear is blown away. I got Missouri take the points against Ohio State. How about that for a little upset, huh?
Hey, I mean, Eli Drinkwitz. And
I'd take Missouri.
But listen, Missouri has done. I mean, what Eli Drinkwitz has done, I want to say the last couple of years, really this year, is what Lane Kiffin has done at Ole Miss. You're talking about two teams. I mean, nobody saw Missouri finishing second in the freaking East. Nobody, not even Missouri. But they did it.
Not even Drinkwitz.
Yeah. So listen, Eli Drinkwitz. Listen, I mean, say what you want about the guy. The guy is a hell of a coach. He's getting it done. Hey. And like I said, a lot of teams will want their success right now. But yeah, Ohio State, Coach Dave, let me tell you something, sir. You lose to Mizzou after going 3 straight years of losing to Michigan.
Oh, son.
I'm telling you, if anybody's on the hot seat, it's definitely Coach Dave because you can't beat the team. You can't beat the team. You know what I'm saying? In maize, what is it? Was it maize and blue? Is that the yellow they call it? Maize? I don't know what they call it.
Maize and blue?
Maize and blue.
Maize and blue.
That's the color of corn. Maize is the color. It is. That's what it is. Maize
He's right.
It's corn. That's right. It's what
maize and blue.
So I'm gonna call it corn blue. So just so these Michigan fans get mad, corn blue. It's corn blue versus So yeah, Coach Day, you better find a way to get it done because Mizzou was coming out there with nothing to lose and everything to gain. I think that might be upset city.
That's a good upset special. We should start gambling on this show.
I mean, how much money are we going? We're not going to gamble anything that we're going to be mad if we lose it, is it? We got to be.
No, we need to get everyone to donate money at the beginning of the season or of the bowl, and then we'll just see what we do. We'll just split it or have a party or something.
That's solid.
I'm over here looking at this message board. Why UF cannot hit a big target in the portal? The reason why you listen, you know why you can't hit a big target because you ain't aiming at them. Easy. If you ain't aiming at them, you can't hit them.
Moving target.
Listen to you.
You aim low, you hit low. You aim high, you hit high. Because at the end of the day, that's why I would never ever coach. You think I'm gonna walk in somebody's living room, they look at me and say, "Oh, Ben, it's just Florida." What did you just say? It's just
that's
Florida.
the thing. Well, that would be convincing, but maybe it's because there's no money to throw around as much as we all.
Well, the whole thing about it is this too. When you start talking about evaluations, like NIL evaluations, I would ask those parents, that is based off of what exactly? Oh, that's based off the fact that listen, at the end of the day, I'm not here to tell you not to take the most money for what the most money that your child can get. What I am saying is that return on investment is going to be a little bit different because I guarantee you that fine print, it's going to be a lot of stipulations tied to that money now, especially with the transfer portal, especially with guys bolting and not playing, not want to say. So I said, look, I'm not going to talk guarantees, but I tell you what, name a quarterback in the next 4 years in the draft going to go higher than Anthony Richardson from the SEC, not named Bryce Young. You can't, you won't. Because they ain't gonna happen. Brock Bowers has done all he can for the tight end position. You think he going top 5? Nope. So Florida got a track record of doing things that even in the midst of a good record, bad record, what your child ultimately want to do, they got as great a shot as ever. It's coming to Florida. You don't believe me? I said, Anthony Richardson went number 4 overall, and he didn't even make a bowl game. Which means if he wins 8 games, he might go number 1 overall. Ask Bryce Young and them. Because when they saw him in person, they say, "Who in the world is this?" And man, I don't know what it is. But if Colorado can get the number 1 offensive tackle in the country to go to Colorado, which I know how he got out there, that's another show. Florida need to flex that. I wish I would walk into a living room and somebody say, "Well, my son is thinking about USF and the UCF." It better listen. I said, "Well, man, let me tell you something. I went to UF. Just go ahead and switch the letters. That's how I feel about what you just told me. I went to UF. Go ahead and switch the letters, and that's how I feel about what you just USF and UCF, FAU and FIU. Child, please, they are not on the same level. But that's
it's not. It is, but I was just looking at every time I look at the schedule for next season, like that is some cringeworthy.
It's rough.
You want to talk? Well, that's the thing. It's either the best opportunity ever to shut up all the naysayers, or it is just an absolute train wreck. It's one of those, like, it ain't gonna go either way, because when if the wheels start falling off early, then you're gonna talking about that bus is gonna be like flat. I mean, it's gonna be on the rails. You're gonna be rolling in with 4 flat tires.
Hold on. Somebody just said, "Will Jaden Daniels go higher than?" No. Toby Permenter. No, he will not. He's gonna go first round, but he had to win the Heisman to do it. He had to win the Heisman to go first round. Don't. And he's a hell of a player. No, he will not. Think about that. Ain't that a head scratcher, Toby? A Heisman Trophy winner at LSU. The last time we saw that, he went number 1 overall, right? Jaden Daniels had to win the Heisman. He still won't go over Anthony Richardson. No.
I don't think so either. I mean, there's just no way. Did you? What was I going to say? Was it the ESPN? Was it 2 days ago calling for DJ Lagway to start? It's like that was the name of the story. That was how they rolled with the story.
Let me hold on. Let me. Now I know it wasn't a lot to ride home about. When the National Signing Day or early National Signing Day. But buddy, we talked about this last week. If DJ Lagway don't go to Florida, that's when we would have went crazy.
I mean, he's still Mr. Texas. I mean, we're talking Urban Meyer tomorrow, and he'll tell you every time. He goes, "I always recruit." They never lost a recruit in Texas. He says that's the best one of the, over Florida or any other place. That's the best place to recruit. You go to be Mr. Football in Texas, it doesn't get much better.
You still got the DN, and you still got DJ Lagway. You had a bunch of guys hit the port. I saw the list that you sent, buddy. And we don't have any. We're not gonna miss. Yes, Princely is gonna be missed. We understand. And yes, potentially Etienne is gonna be missed. Potentially, right? But at the same time, a lot of these guys weren't playing. They know they weren't gonna play, and we'll see what happens. But we was able to get some good guys in. And look, we still had Graham. We still have Miles Graham. He easily could have been a 5-star. But I just think that at the end of the day, I like the recruiting class, didn't love the recruiting class, but at the same time, we don't know who the hell these guys gonna become until they get.
You never do, and you never do.
I mean, it's a crapshoot. I mean, I remember in the baseball season when I said that Ronald Acuna Jr. was going to win National League Player of the Year, MVP, people they laughed at me. Who's laughing now?
Well, and there's a lot of those stories going on. I just think, and we talked a couple weeks ago to Urban about it. It's like, how did you manage, Tim Tebow and Chris Leaks? How did you manage those two? Like bringing in a Tebow and integrating it. He says you got to play him somehow. You got to get him in on a third down package. You got to get him in. You got to get him in the mix because you can't just let him ride pine the whole season. And I thought that was an interesting sort of way to
but you know what Urban really had to do? You bring Tim Tebow to campus when he sees the talent on the field. Urban don't got to say much. See, if you don't see how great guys are, you think, "Oh, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna gonna say this again. I love Urban Meyer and what Urban Meyer has meant for the University of Florida. A lot of those guys in 2006 was there in 2003. A lot of them. Dallas Baker, right? And Chris Leak. A lot of them. And I'm not taking nothing away. All Urban told Tim Tebow's parents he's going to play package for him to play. But I'm telling you this now. If Tim Tebow has to start day one, I'm not saying he don't end up doing what he's doing. He ain't going to do it as a freshman because it's hard to do it. I'm not saying he don't become what he became.
There was they didn't have the transfer portal then, though. I mean, you know what I mean? So you've got a little. Yeah,
but think about this, Brenden. And Buddy knows this, and I'm gonna shut the hell up. The worst thing you can do to a player is strip him of his confidence before he's ready. If you strip him of him, by the time he's ready, he's no good. So they said, let's put Tebow in positions that he can shine. People are already saying Tebow.
Well, you want to have a little success there. You want to build that confidence.
Right? Well, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, if I just came out of journalism school, that don't mean I'm ready to work for Gator, babe. Like,
yeah, you are. Yep.
No. Because
you're hired.
No, because it's a thing. This is a thing, though.
Hired.
Brenden.
You're cheap.
I am cheap, but let me tell you what I'm not ready for. I'm not ready for real criticism and feedback coming from Buddy. That's what they don't say. I got to be for Buddy Martin saying that ain't enough. Like Buddy,
he don't mess around either. By the way, he said you need to retype. You need to rewrite this five more times.
As my granddad would say, he'll say, son, I done worked too hard to let you tear it down. He'll tell us all the time, I done worked too hard to let you tear it down. So.
All right, we got Lauren Meadows in the green room. Buddy, why don't you tell us about Titan MRI?
Titan MRI, and I want to tell you something. I want to ask Lauren's opinion about this whole thing with Etienne. I have a new take on it. I was discussing with Allie the other night. Get your all's take on it. Titan MRI is worth the short drive to Gainesville. No insurance, no problem.
No problem.
You can play with cash or card. Same day scheduling available. Start feeling better today because Titan MRI is North Central Florida's premier independent MRI facility. Come see why hundreds of patients are visiting our Gainesville location from Ocala, Marion County, and the villages. That's TitanMRI.com. And good evening, Mr. Lauren Meadows. How are you doing?
How you guys doing?
Good. You sound good tonight, Coach. You got a new computer?
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to have you come and set me up. But we got company in the main studio, so I'm backstage.
You got kicked back there again, huh? Man,
well, this is the best you've ever sounded. You sound fantastic.
Well, we'll see. But I paid that money for that tight microphone, so I'm going to have Brenden come in.
I know. Well, if you could maybe a little home cooked meal for this single guy goes.
Hey, we can grill out. We can grill out, do a little something. So,
I got to come up there and eat. What are you guys doing for New Year's Eve? Anyone doing anything fun?
Sleep.
Yeah, chilling. Yeah, it'll be a late night the night after with the bowl game. So I'm gonna be chilling.
I'm gonna do my best to be able to answer some text messages at 12:01. I ain't making no promises.
I won't be one of them, by the way. I will not be one.
I'm gonna drunk dial all three of you on like a chat. I'm gonna like, oh, party!
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna say if anybody looking for me, I got a cousin out there. His name is Brenden Martin. We look.
Here's his number.
He's a little bit lighter than me. He's just a little.
I'm your brother.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Not cousin.
Listen,
we are real blood brothers.
The days of staying out late.
Oh, Lord, I'm glad you're here tonight. So I got to say, I've been putting up with this for 2 hours.
Happy New Year. I was up there in New York City for about 5 years. You know how many times I went to Times Square to go do the ball drop? Never.
How many times I went?
Not fun. Yeah.
How many times I go? And how many times was I on the air there?
If I'm up at 12:01
2 years, I was on. Listen up to me. I was there with the ball dropping on TV with Terry Bradshaw. Okay, how about that? Dropping a name, all right?
So Rebecca, my sister and I are out like partying way too young downtown Denver, and we come back and we get all these calls, from mom and dad. You got to get the VCR. You got to get the tape in the VCR. You got to record this. It's what are we recording? Sure enough, we turn on, we hit the record, we come back and we watch the record, and there's Miss Joni in her fur coat chilling with Terry Bradshaw and Buddy. right there on CBS doing the ball drop, just
Times
chilling
Square.
right there. And I was like, Times Square. I was like, that is baller. I was like, that is something you'll remember. And there's mom back there in the big black fur coat, looking like all pretty and stuff, just smiling and dialing.
Hi.
I mean, I try
they
to
got a
let
star.
people know. I mean, I let people know that Buddy and Joni Martin they were a big deal, and Buddy Martin still is. I mean, you know, it's just that's one of the problems I got with our current head coach right now. He need to recognize who the two dogs.
You know what? We need to start a movement, don't you think? We need to start of like listen. I'm going to address Mr. Napier. Hey, Coach Billy. You know, I know we're tight. What up? Listen, that guy over there, that guy right there, has interviewed every coach since what year, Dad? What was your first interview with your first year?
1958, Bob Woodruff.
Okay, since Bob Woodruff, 1958, every coach has been interviewed. This guy has been on headset with Urban Meyer for an entire year, like embedded in the team. Like he's interviewed every single one of these guys. It is time for you to recognize that you need to go on the show with Buddy Martin and talk to the guy, because that it's like good juju for you, dog. Like you got to get into it. Like, what are you thinking? Like, pay homage, man.
No, this is what it is. No, it's tradition. It's
respectful. It is tradition. And that's part of the issue with him.
Because the whole thing about it is, right? The whole thing about it is, if I'm in games and I'm saying, bro, listen, you talk to everybody, right? Yeah, no, you haven't.
Yeah, everybody.
And at the same time, I go, Spurrier check, Meyer check, Dan Muller check. I say, hell, must check.
McElwain check.
McElwain.
They
fishermen.
I'm just saying. To me, let me say this again about listen. Love you, Billy Napier. Nobody's that busy.
No.
Nobody's that busy.
And he's not like it's going to be a good interview. I mean, it's going to be probably one of the best interviews, if not the best interview since you've done there. Like, if you think you've talked to Dooley and you're done, I mean, Vince Dooley's a nice guy. But if you talk to Vince Dooley and you're done, Holmes, you need to get on the deal and talk to Buddy Martin.
To all the listeners out there, if y'all see Gator Bait exclusive, Lauren Meadows on assignment. If Lauren sit down, when Lauren hit you with it, listen, Coach, the people want to know. What
WTF, dog?
Pardon my French. What the hell is going on? Like, what the hell is going on?
WTF, bro.
Come on. Because this is crazy thing. You know how people say things like, what would you do if you had unlimited resources? See, a lot of times, I couldn't be stopped. Yeah, that sounds good. Because the reason why Billy Napier gets criticism is, one, because it's at Florida. Two, you don't have no limitations. Nope. You don't have any. No, listen, zero. If somebody says, "Hey, man, you telling me if Billy Napier wanted to fly in on a helicopter like Kirby Smart?" Yes, he could. Why? Because when you a big program, you know what sets precedence over anything else? Reputation. Oh, if you don't believe me, why you think they show Florida 18-wheeler when it's going on the road? You know who they laughing at? Other 18-wheelers. Y'all ain't got this. I'm just telling y'all, Loren, listen, let Buddy go with you first, and then we say, okay, then we got somebody from Gator Bait. Yeah, but Loren gonna be a little different than Buddy now. Loren gonna come at you like, look, bro, I can looking at your face on the sideline. You need to change your body language. All I'm saying is, listen. Let me tell you something. You're gonna go to the Buddy Martin network when he interview you. Then you go into the Lauren Meadows.
Yeah, you're gonna do the media tour. You got to do the stop, man.
My thing is though, why not though? Like what? And at the end of the day, don't you want to be able? The reason why I do 84 Reasons is because I just want to talk to the players. I'm not asking them tell us about Tennessee. No, who the hell are you? Why should people root for you past football? What makes you interesting? And they'll talk to me a little bit, right? Well, with Billy Napier, we don't really know you past football. No. We don't really know you and I'm telling you that humanizing a person, that stuff matters, man. And I don't know why Billy, You talking to people you ain't never gonna meet. You just interviewed a dude that live up there in a part of, I don't know, New York that you don't even sit down with Buddy Martin.
I don't even know. Like seriously, someone needs to print out Buddy's bio, and just slide it on his desk and be like, look, you need to read this and then be like, damn, I'm dumb for not doing this show and not interviewing Buddy Martin because it's like not interviewing with Buddy Martin is like getting on the cover of Madden. It's like a curse, dog. That's probably why everything's been going his way. You do the interview with Buddy, you probably get all and everything going to change. You might run the table next year and shut everybody up and all the crazy. That'd be the craziest story of all time.
Yeah, man.
Be like, if I just would have interviewed with Buddy Martin, I just didn't get my shit together. Well, no kidding.
All right.
Come on.
All right, buddy. I think I saw a bowl game tonight named after you guys. Was sponsored the Pinstripe Bowl by Bad Boy Mowers. Y'all on that company, right. Huh? That's yours.
Right. Bad boys. What you gonna mow?
Anyway, the bottom line is that I appreciate that, but I'm not that relevant anymore. Honestly, I'm not just being humble.
Listen, I spent a lot of time making you relevant. Okay.
Anyway, no matter what, the bottom line is, I wish you just talk to the people. That's what he'd be doing to me. He'd be talking through me to other people. It's not that it's me. I want to hear somebody I've talked to. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, Steve Spurrier, about this. Isn't it? Someone has got to be the spokesperson for Gator football. Scott Strickland's not doing it. Nobody's doing it. Who's the guy up there with who's the face of Florida football right now? Somebody tell me that. Who is it?
Well, it's Billy Napier. He's the face.
He ain't talking like the face. Well, he's not speaking to the people. He's not telling.
No, he's not. He's not talking to anybody.
We have to wait to a press conference, and then about 10 minutes in, he drops a little news tidbit. I don't care about the nutritionists being hard in Florida.
I can't get excited about that story.
Talk to me about it. So, it's not just he's not talking to Buddy Martin. He's not talking to the people. And that's going to bite him in the butt before it's over. There's got to be a dialogue pretty quick because I talked to a few people who have around here who know the biggest of big people, one of which lives right in the area, the biggest. And they have told me, I don't talk to the big guys. They do. They say, big boys ain't going to put up with it. It's going to be get it done or get out quick.
Well, I have dinner with two big boys almost every game. Before I go up to the press box, I stop by the Bull Gator scenario area, and I know two big guys that are not happy as well. So, it is definitely and I will say one of them in particular has a lot of respect for you, Buddy. So, like you said, the situation we just talked about has not gone over well with him either. So, that's just realistic. But go ahead. I know you had a question about Etienne, or you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I wanted to say two things. I got a pretty good list of players from my friend Randy Briggs, whose brother broke this down about what is in the transfer, what Florida lost in the transfer portal by position. I've not seen this anyplace else. I want to share it with our listeners or readers or whatever. And thanks to all you folks who are listening tonight, by the way. This list of players, there are 18 in all who've been in the portal. 2 4-stars, 16 3-stars, okay? Princely probably the only one missed. Most everybody, players are leaving due to not playing. Offensive line, 3 are going. Quarterback, 1 going. Wide receiver, 2 going. Tight end, 2 going. Running back, 1 going. Defensive line, 4 going. Cornerback, 1 going. Safety, 3 going. And linebacker, 0. And then that's the lineup. And he goes into depth more on that in terms of how much they've lost. They haven't lost that much in terms of top-notch players. And they did sign 2 5-stars. I don't know, but my friend challenged me and said, when's the last time Florida signed 2 5-stars? I couldn't come up with it. You guys know?
2000 would be 2000, probably 2008 class would be the last 2009.
Good trivia question.
Maybe
with Ronald Powell, with with Sharif and Ronald Powell and Dominique.
Joe Hayden, was he already gone?
No, Hayden was gone, but I would say with Ronald Powell.
Okay,
Ronald
that
Powell
might be worth looking at. Some of those might have been 4s who then became 5s. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. Well, I know Ronald Powell was the #1 guy in the country that year. So
yeah, no, he was the one that didn't stick. The California guy had great hope for. So I just throw that out there for fodder for conversation. But here's the heart of it. And I've had this conversation this week with a bunch of our friends on here. We cannot just dismiss totally the Trevor Etienne thing. I know it. We knew it was coming, right? It didn't shock us. But the fact is, when it happened on Christmas Eve, it seemed to shock some people who didn't realize it. And that's a really tough one. You look at the transfers. I read the other day there are 86 players from Florida had transferred over the years to SEC schools, but none had ever gone to FSU. Only one had gone to Tennessee and none to Georgia, who are the top-rated players. And Etienne, he made the move. He made the move not because of money, because of playing time. That was the reason. And the way he wanted to win a championship. I know he's told people he was offered more money to stay at Florida. That's what I've heard. So the thing is, when this happened, the Etienne thing had a bit of a backbite. Now, listen, it isn't often Danny Werfel says much about anything. I don't know why I'm hiccuping. Hold on. Go ahead and talk for a second. I'll get some water.
God, you need some Tums. Tom, stat. Need it. Make it happen. The Etienne thing, what were you going to say, Loren? Buddy said you got some.
Well, I mean, I think that I'll start it off. I guess.
Well, let's not hear the rest of it first.
Okay.
Danny Werfel never says anything. Danny Werfel never says anything, the slightest provocative thing. All right. Here's what he tweeted out. All right. He said, any Gator fans, hold on, let me get it back here. Any Gator fans who would like, let's see what he said. Any Gator fans wanting to trade their number 7 jersey. Let's remember who wore number 7, okay? Let's don't forget. Number 7 jersey from this season, for a timeless autograph number 7 Werfel jersey. My foundation will donate to the first 10 fans who DM at Werfel.com, whatever. Happy New Year, Gators. He's out there retrieving those number 7 Etienne jerseys. Now, that says a lot to me, guys. Am I wrong? What does it say to you?
No, it definitely does. And it lets you know that, you know, there's some people that truly have their heart still in Gainesville. And, you know, the fact that you're talking about someone who won the Heisman Trophy, won a national title, went through his ups and downs here in Florida, and for you to have that number for the last 2 years and wear that number, that, you know, I mean, it definitely was something that resonated with Werfel, and I don't blame him. I find myself sometimes I have to keep my journalistic hat on for this one simply because, you know, Ben and Brenden too. I mean, we all cut from the same generation. That's just certain things you don't do. And, you know, I was shocked that, you know, I mean, Georgia made a lot of sense for a lot of reasons, but, you know, we were raised and brought up, I think all of us, with a certain code and the way things go down. And whether you grew up in the hood or grew up in the suburbs or grew up in, if you truly
especially as a guy, I don't mean to interrupt you, but especially as a male Gen Xer,
right?
You know what I mean? There was a law.
And if you grew up with a certain code and things like that, it's just certain things you didn't do. And that now this new generation, you know, you see a lot of people wishing him luck and things like that. And I don't wish any ill will on any human at all. I consider myself to be someone who really cares about people and things like that. But just when you look at it on the surface, the only reason it makes sense for him is if he's somebody that feels like, okay, well, this national title or an SEC title is going to make him complete, because you had a coach who believed in you, a head coach. You have a position coach who adores you. I've spoken with him, absolutely adores you. And you have a fan base who thinks you're the best thing since sliced bread. Everything was here. Plus, you are at one of the top 5 public universities in the country. So maybe you don't get your degree in 4 years, but you come back and you get a degree from the University of Florida. It is very hard for me to stay journalistic, and not the fact that I would say this, if this was somebody from Ohio State and they went to Michigan, I would say the very same thing that I'm saying now. I mean, it just, this thing has turned so I mean, I cannot believe it. And and here's what'll make me worse. And I'm going to bring out the old football player in me. There's going to be guys from Florida that during warm-ups and things like that they can't wait to be the first one to greet Etienne during pregame warm-ups, give him a hug and all that kind of stuff. And I just do not understand.
Then they're going to kill him.
Well, you say that, but I mean, I mean, they're not built that way anymore, bud.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, kids aren't built that way anymore. And like I said, I mean, it just, you know, I mean, if you truly love the game of football with the purity of going to war with guys that you consider your brothers.
That's what you're saying. It ain't okay.
But what Lauren's saying is something that, I mean, it's near and dear. I am from Swainsboro, Georgia. All I ever wanted to be was a Swainsboro Tiger. When I'm leaving the game of football and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, people just think, oh, from a player he wants to coach. A team that wanted to hire me was called Emmanuel County Institute. Swainsboro, Georgia is in Emmanuel County. One of their rivals is ECI. It's in Twin City, Georgia. I said, hell no. Because at the end of the day, right, optics are everything. We live in a world now to where, like, whatever the perception of it is, I don't care what the reality is. When it comes to Trevor Etienne, right, he could have went anywhere. See, most players don't get the options he got. He could have went anywhere. Georgia? Like, he, you know, because it just comes down to the fact that I always get this question. Well, Ben, if you got to do it all over again, I'm going to Florida. Well, if it's 2023, I'm going to Florida. Because at the end of the day, if people say if it wasn't Florida, who wins it? It sure as hell ain't Georgia. Because it's, to me, that's the easy way out. That's so easy, but it just comes down to the fact. Brock Berlin was the #1 player in the country when we came out. He was a #1 player. Brock went to Miami. D. Lee, Keywan, Gus, Bob McCray, they were trying to kill Brock when we played Miami. And Brock wasn't going to play here. He wasn't going to play at Florida. So he went to Miami. And at the end of the game, I remember telling Brock, what's up, boy? Miami? Yeah, but because it's like this. Football games now, everybody want to exchange jerseys. For what? Like no, you do. That's
not soccer. This isn't soccer.
But
do jersey exchange.
But this is the thing, right? You got, I mean, no offense, right? You got guys that didn't even play. Man, you want to change? Hell no. You want me to smell your sweat? You smell my sweat? No, it's like that. That's the kind of stuff you call somebody in the off season. But at the end of the day, it's like this. It's like when I guarantee you this. When it comes to a situation like Trevor Etienne, right? It's like you start saying to yourself, how? Like when you say Florida offered me more, like don't say that out loud. Don't, because that just means it's like, what? I get it. That Etienne legacy is serious. What your brother did at Clemson, Travis Etienne is the greatest ACC running back of all time. And that's taking nothing away from all the great ones, right? He is the greatest of all time. But the thing about Trevor Etienne is Trevor Etienne ain't watching Georgia running backs. He has not been watching them. They don't have bell cows anymore. They don't have they got 2 or 3 guys. You had 1,400 yards in 2 years, almost double-digit touchdowns, averaging right at 5 yards a carry as a backup. Unless they told you finna be a bell cow, what you think? Anyway, like I said, the year, SEC championship games and legacies of what, you're a freaking Etienne.
Look,
I'm saying Arch Manning makes what $3, $4, $5 million a year, and to me that ain't even as much as I thought he was. He's a freaking Manning. Certain people name is big enough. So I'm like you, Lauren. When it happened, I said stay off of Twitter. No, I'm not gonna say nothing anyway. I get it when I say it, but it's like, come on now. And
Etienne's problem is Etienne's brother and Twitter. This has been his issue. And I think that we've seen that it's like listening too much to all of that around you. When we discussed this with Urban and we kind of talked about, hey, what's the big, what's the biggest problem with NIL? What's the biggest problem with this transfer portal? All this kind of stuff. And, and I was ready for him to like name this and that and all the other things. And he looked straight at the camera. He said, you know what? It's the parents. And, the biggest problem, and he's right, because the biggest problem we have right now with a lot of these kids is the parents. Now I got a 11-year-old daughter. I drill it in her head. Daddy, I don't feel like going to soccer practice today. You made premier travel soccer. I don't care if your friends are playing and like it's the greatest party in the world. You are not missing practice. Like it's the parents, right? And look at Lagway. Lagway's got great parents, right? Every one of these great players, these ones that have that thing, that's like the common denominator. Tebow, great parents. It's this great parenting that gets them and makes them, it instills in them the importance of being loyal, right? It's not like they instilled being a Gator. They just instilled the fact that you're going to make this decision. You're going to stick by this decision. I grew up with Buddy Martin. Like, you don't think that like if I wanted to change this or that, that's not it. You made the decision to do this. You're going to honor the decision because that's what you're supposed to do. And I think that is part of a conversation that's a bigger show, but that is what we've lost in a lot of this. And I transfer this to Billy Napier a little bit in a lot of ways is that Billy, and I'm not calling him Sun Belt Billy or whatever his nickname is, but his lack of knowledge of the tradition in the SEC and what that means, and his unwillingness.
But he coached in Alabama. He coached in Alabama.
I get it, but it's different in the sense of that he didn't get it. I don't care if he coached it or not. I know he was a analyst or whatever. Was like he didn't get it. You just don't get it. If you don't get it, you don't understand that is and that you're not going to push the traditions of going on the Buddy Martin show. If you're not going to push the traditions of doing the things that are important, all the great coaches that came through Florida, they all, Spurrier, go win the SEC and we'll talk about anything else. That was his thing, right? And Urban, bringing back all the tradition, that was important. The alma mater, learning the alma mater. What does it mean? Tradition of the school. Have a buy-in to what it means to wear the orange and blue. Zook, all these great coaches, they recognize that because that's an asset to you, right? Look at where you are. You're in Gainesville, Florida, one of the beautiful campuses. You got all this stuff. Like it just seems there's a lack of that. And that's why I don't know. That's why I say like these guys they're not getting that experience. And I'm not so super surprised in a lot of ways because, if Etienne got some of that or whatever, maybe they're just turned off it. And then I know money has a lot to do with it and everything else, but I don't know. Like it just doesn't seem it's important.
The thing is, I mean, it's like you said, the money. I mean, and I hate when people say that.
But he was offered more money to stay.
Right. And that's my thing. It's like the money, it's like now that NIL has started, the big excuse is everybody can come in and just say, well, he went to the highest bidder. These kids, some of these kids, some are, but some aren't. And the narrative is now that, well, we want to just say, well, they offered him more money or this, that, and the other. And we have to, I guess my thing is the purity of the game still exists. It still exists, And so, I mean, with that said, it's going off the rails. And I think that sends shockwaves, not just through the Florida program, but nationally when a kid will make that kind of decision for the reasons that he made the decision for.
Y'all just a bunch of old codgers. You don't get it. You don't understand it. I got one for you. Someone said to me the other night, what did Florida spend for that Heavener facility? 90 million was it? How much was it? I don't even remember how much it was. The one that
let's say 90.
91 or whatever. Somebody said, what if they hadn't done that? If they'd taken that money and invested in buying players? He said, because people don't care about how good their locker room looks anymore.
That's actually a very good point.
How much money can I get to play football? Think about it for a second. It's not something you really want to acknowledge, but if that's the game, then it's about the money. That's a lot of money went out the door to that facility. Everybody said, oh, get that new facility. They'll kill it in recruiting. Guess what? They got it and they didn't.
Because now it doesn't matter.
But the thing about it is, though, $80 million, $80 million when you talk about a standalone football facility, it's dirt cheap. You think that facility ain't even going to be there 10 years from now? It's not even going to be there. They did that. They did that through donations and different things. And let me tell you something. Once again, I'm going to keep saying this. Florida, because of its reputation, they better have one. You got to have one. You know,
USF, for a long time.
USF can't even stadium.
Look at they're built. That stadium is going to be baller.
What they got to show for it? What do they got to show for the new football facility?
Well,
90 million for what?
I get it. I know. I'm not negating what you're saying, buddy. But at the end of the day, if Buddy Martin is the president of one University of Florida, they gonna and the other president saying, "Hey man, why y'all ain't got no standalone facility?" That's all they say at one time. Boop, and they go. Then Will Muschamp is the reason why we got a freaking indoor. Not Will Muschamp.
It was McElwain.
McElwain. All right, so McElwain with his high-powered offenses. He the one. The reason why we got an indoor. I'm just telling you, when it comes to certain stuff, when it comes to the quote big three in the state of Florida, you have to, just cause. I remember when I was at Florida and they used to tell us they'll never get an indoor at Florida. Y'all, indoor? I said, right? They'll never wear black jerseys. And, certain things just have to happen just cause. So I just think that once again, the Etienne situation, I'm not mad at him and I'm not surprised. It's just the fact that, Lauren, when you think you've seen it all, you haven't. He gonna go where? And to me, it's not. Listen, let me say this again. I have no problem with what Etienne did. I have no problem with Etienne. I have no problem with his brother or his mama or his family. It's just listen, the word loyalty is so different. It is not what we thought. He don't owe for anything.
There is none.
But at the end of the day, if somebody would have said, "Hey Ben, I wouldn't have did this," I always look at intent. If I would have said I'm going to transfer, see, back in the day when you had to transfer, you had to show your head coach who you transferring to, and they will approve or disprove that list.
And you had to sit. And then you had to sit for a year.
Number one, Georgia would not have been on my list, but even if it was, even when walking out the door, Ron Zook would have said,
Zook wouldn't let you go there.
Listen. There was a part on the movie Training Day when Denzel Washington, they got this scene at the end. He's looking at when they saying, "You gonna do this to me? You disloyal." I'm telling Ron Zook would have cussed me out walking out the door. Because in his mind, he's saying, "You want to go there?" Because I'm gonna say this, people, and people can get mad. Football wise, yes, right now Georgia, they're a little bit better than Florida. Program wise, they're not. Football wise, I got to give it to them. The proof is in the pudding. But when people go other places, you got to show me why where you going is better than where you left. And right now, you cannot show me that. I get the overall record, but guess what? If the overall record really matter, why them boys ain't playing in the bowl game? Huh? If it was really that, they would play. It's only one more game.
That's a great point. That's a disgrace. That's a disgrace to the game. That is a disgrace to college football. That right there, I mean, it is, and that's also indicative of the coach just not saying, "Shut up, let's go beat Georgia." Like I just don't like. It's like we're not going to play. We're going to go for 40 players. Like it's not even worth it. It's a big time bowl game. They're going to get a lot of money to go play in that bowl game. Like, go prove that you should be in the national championship conversation. Go make that point. Go make that point. And as a coach, as a leader, you shouldn't be out there bitching and whining. Shut up. Like, I lost respect for that whole, I liked Florida State as a college football fan up until that moment because they had overcome so much. They had, I felt sorry for them for 2 seconds, and I hate Florida State. I hate them. Like, with all that I am, I hate Florida State. I don't even like driving by Tallahassee. I hate it so much. But it just, at least it was like a good story, right? They did something hard and they overcame adversity. And then at the end, you don't finish. You don't deserve to be there. You don't deserve it.
I'm looking.
All right. I'm going to call time 1 second here. I'm going to call time.
Rogers,
you guys can continue.
I'm just looking at Nathaniel. Nathaniel, who cares if Etienne is splitting the carry? He left because he wants to win. Listen, Nathaniel, everybody does. Even the teams that lose want to win. Vanderbilt wants to win. I know it don't seem like it, right? Vanderbilt wants to win. No. I'm telling you this. People leave because of perception. Over there looks better until you get there.
Kirby goes into the pros.
It looks like they're doing this until you get there. Like I said, if a culture is that strong, if I love my brothers that much, I'm going to play one more game. It can't hurt me. And I know people are saying, well, what if you get hurt? I have an insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
I have an
exactly.
Did I just spill the beans? If I'm potentially a first round pick and I get hurt, I still get my money no matter where I get drafted, right? So think about that. I got double the incentive. I'm going to get drafted no matter what, but if my draft status plummets because I get hurt, I got an insurance policy on me. So I got NIL money. I got NIL leverage. I'm still going to get drafted, and I don't want to play in one more game to a bunch of guys who going to spend their whole life talking about me. Because they're not – if I play with Tim Tebow, I get asked about him all the time. If I play with Percy or Danny Warfel or Rex Grossman. So for me, these guys are saying, hey, man, give us one more memory with you. Give us one more. Nah, man, I got to get out of here, man. Y'all boys go. Man, listen, I'm tell y'all something. People get so happy with people are so entrenched and engulfed by the lies that the truth don't sound as good. And the truth of the matter is, it ain't the money, man. People and I'm not gonna keep using Etienne. Anybody in his position, money hasn't been a problem for a long time. Well before he got to college, he's the brother of Travis. I'm not saying the money his brother has, but I guarantee you he ain't driving a Buick. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you his car ain't on the side of the road with smoke coming out the engine. Why?
I've seen his car.
Yeah, because guess what? Trevor Etienne brother being 45 minutes up the road because of reputation. He can't have his brother out there like that. My sister went to Payne College and HBCU in Augusta. Hell, I didn't have her out there like that. When she was now she ain't have, I had her driving something. It was drivable. And it came off.
It was a Buick.
It was a Buick. So all I'm saying is, every time we talk about an Etienne or a Manning, you know how many other players wish they was in that position? You know how many? Because don't think just because you go to Florida, you get NIL. I'm on the NIL platform when I be interviewing these players. Certain players I can get because Jen do a great job, and certain players I can't get because, well, they ain't a part of the network.
Ain't the best. It ain't the top collective in college football.
From Brenden to Buddy to myself to Loren, we do wish Etienne the best. But just know this: when you say it ain't about the money, what the hell was it? Because
there's something else to that story.
Because guess what? Ole Miss won 10 games and they get the ball to the running back. Georgia hasn't had a leading rusher in the SEC for a while now. This is with Sony Michel. This is with Swift. This is with Chubb. So all I'm saying is, when people get to talk about legacy, the legacy of what? What do they say? What's the old saying? When you good at something, you tell them, and when you great at something, they tell you. If they ain't telling you nothing, don't get mad at the truth. Love Etienne. And listen. Love Etienne.
And why didn't somebody tell Etienne? Listen, Georgia just wants to take you just because you're at Florida, and they get to take you. Like you're not going to get the love that you got at Florida. Like you're just another name now. Like you're going to go expect. They just conned you. They might give you some money, all of these other things, but you're not going to get the same respect. They just wanted it to stick it in Florida's face. In a lot of ways, I believe that.
Guys, I'm going to play the old man card here and say I've got to get up early in the morning. But I just want to say, when you guys can keep on if you want to. I got to do an Urban Meyer show at 7:30. So my time.
I thought it was at 9.
It's an hour difference out there, Brenden. I got to be up. So anyway,
that would be 8.
Bottom line. Okay, whatever. My point is, I want to say back to the point of the $91 million. All right, how it was spent. Would I be in favor of it being spent the other way? No, I would not. But let's just say now that looking at it, the reality that we're looking at now, can you imagine this, Ben Troupe? You're a proud Florida Gator, that next year with the schedule they've got, we've said this before, they could have the 3rd straight losing season. Now, I write the piece tomorrow about this is about where I found Florida football 63 years ago when they could barely get to 5-5 and get to a bowl game. This is the same thing, except worse. If they go 3 straight losing seasons, it's the worst, the darkest period of Florida football in the history of the game. All right? That's not good. They just spent $91 million for a football facility because they thought they were going to get a bunch of players. Well, guess what? It doesn't work that way. They've got to get some way to get a spokesperson. Look, I'm not going to keep invoking Steve Spurrier because we hear that all the time. But you know what he be saying? He be out there preaching, talking, jumping around, telling people how great it was to be a Florida Gator. We don't get that out of Billy Napier. And it kind of makes you wonder whether or not he thinks it's great to be a Florida Gator. You don't get that conviction that, come on, this is going to be great. Because I don't see people flocking to Gainesville right now, all the 4 and 5 stars. There's something missing. I like Billy Napier. I think he's a good football coach and a pretty good play caller, but he's a half beat slow. He's either going to catch up with that beat this year or he's going to be gone.
Well, I think that's where we're at is even if we did have a bunch of 4 and 5 stars, that doesn't solve all your problems. I think people, and that's what I said, and that's maybe why you guys have me on this show is to be the voice of reason when it comes to blocking, tackling, catching, and throwing. And I think that's the thing is Florida has capable football players, but they're in the wrong place at the wrong time all the time. So it goes back to what you said, buddy. Maybe Billy Napier is not the guy, but not because he won't necessarily. I mean, the fact that he won't sit down with you is one thing, but you see things that are very archaic. You see things that are head scratchers. You see decisions being made. You see defensive and offensive play calls. You see poor special teams, and a bunch of 4 and 5 stars aren't going to solve those problems because, like Ben always says, you got to learn to play this game at this level. So, I mean, and that's the thing is like you can't have it every way. And just because you have the #1 recruiting class in the country does not mean you're going to win the national championship. You still got to coach them. And the biggest problem with Billy Napier right now is the fact that they are a poorly coached football team, period. It shows on the field, and it has showed consistently for 2 years. That is the bottom line.
You could be right. But here's something, and I'm going to sign off with this, but Alex said last night, she's right. I really like Billy Napier. I think he's a good football coach. 10 years ago, he would have been really effective. Think about it. 10 years ago.
I disagree with that 110%.
Why, you think he would not have been effective 10 years ago?
What has he done?
He did. He was effective at Louisiana. I got to say that. He was.
Okay, yes, he was. But what makes you think what 10 years ago with what they've done on the field, the way they line up?
I think the whole thing is overwhelmed, Billy. He's got it coming in from 9 different places. And even Urban talks about it. Urban said tonight when I texted him, I feel sorry for Billy Napier, he said. And I do too when I've reached out to him to know if
Okay, but and I would counter ask you this, buddy, and you and I talk about this all the time, and you and I both have a great respect for Urban. If Urban Meyer is the football coach at Florida right now,
oh my God,
is Florida practicing for a bowl game this week?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, first of all, here's
no
the thing.
question.
He would have had timeout though.
No question.
It's a loaded question. He would have had a bunch of 4 and 5 stars. That's the difference.
Yeah. But the whole thing about it is even look. The best example I have when it comes to football is the most consistent coach I've ever seen in my life. I've ever seen in my lifetime, and that's Mike Tomlin. I've never seen a person that he's never had a losing season. He's the third coach in Pittsburgh. He's never Chuck. I can't think of it. Chuck No, the one that was in the middle, the one that do the little scrawl on his face, and you got Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin.
Bill Cowher.
Bill Cowher. When people ask what is wrong with Florida football, it is very simple. Because football, what they do is they take all these complexities, and you know this, Loren, and they make it real simple. They make it the simplest thing because young people don't do well with complexity. Complex? No, we don't do well with that. Let's make it as simple as we possibly can. Mike Tomlin said something that is the Pittsburgh way. He said everybody's capable, not everybody's willing. That is football. When you are willing to do it, you're going to win. This has been one of the ugliest seasons I've ever seen in Pittsburgh history, and they got a shot to make the playoffs. Why? Because they got Mike Tomlin. Who got a shot to win Defensive Player of the Year? T.J. Watt. Right? Again, another one of them Watt brothers. When it comes to Florida, look, and this is just keeping it a buck. When I was coming out, it was who was All-Americans. We ain't know about no stars, man. 2 and 3 and 4. The Andre Johnson that played linebacker at Florida, not the one that played in Miami, who's up for the Hall of Fame, he asked me, hey, man, I saw a bunch of y'all boys in the Florida Georgia High School All-Star game. I go, yeah. He say, can y'all play, though? He kept it as simple as that. Can y'all play? Football is not all this other stuff. My nephew, right, he's here at the house. He always saying, he always watching these one-on-one videos with these receivers and DBs and O-linemen and D-linemen. And you know what I tell him? I go, that's cool. I said, you ever seen Devontae Adams out there? You ever seen Tyreek Hill out there? You ever seen Keenan Allen out there and Stephon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown? Because they do it when it matters. When it comes to football, it's can you do it when it matters? Lauren, Brenden, y'all been on the sideline. And the one thing a coach knows is coaches. If I've ever coached, I don't care what level, I can look at a coach's body language to tell you what's going on in the game. I don't even got to see the game because body language tells the story. When it comes to Billy Napier, it's more than just being a coach and calling play. It is way more. To this day, the coach that yelled at me the most was Ron Zook. We went 85-5. The coach that never yelled was Steve Spurrier. We went 10-2 and 10-3. We won the last SEC championship won by Steve Spurrier was in 2000, my freshman year. All I'm saying is, if I'm looking at a player who I know is better than me, I'm trying to take things he does from his game that I can emulate. I'm not saying Billy Napier got to do, but this is the thing. Eli Drinkwitz came from the Sun Belt. He's in a part of the country that is not in the SEC, and he's getting it done. Why? Because he got a bunch of willing players. Go through their roster, tell me how many 5 stars they got. They ain't got none, and they win it. You remember what Kyle Trask?
But that goes to I think a lot to coaching it up to, to the breadcrumbs of it all, right? To leading them to it. Those guys aren't afraid to say. I think Billy tries to. I think this is why Billy's a great recruiter. Billy's a great recruiter because he kisses ass and he gets these guys to like him. He gets them to buy into the whole thing. But he's afraid to come out and be like, get hardcore on them because he's afraid they're going to leave. It's like he's trying to play this balance. Like I'm a player, I'm a coach guy. I'm a guy that's going to be like a player's coach, and then I'm but then I'm going to try to be this tough guy. It goes back to like parenting. You can't play that game. You either are or you're not. And I think that's where we see it. And you see it with coaches. It's like Urban used to say he would rip his coaches harder than he'd rip his own players. there's that fear of not being liked. I think that we see a little bit. That's too much of it, and to me, that's what we've seen all year, and that's why we see him. And all these players want to come play with him, everything else. But then who's your OG on the sideline? You got Billy Gonzalez, and then you go get rid of the guys that everyone liked in recruiting, and that's what we talked about. So now, it just doesn't. It's a control freak thing to me. It's the OCD. I'm holding on to the edge too hard because I think my thoughts are best, and I think that comes from legacy coaches. Billy's a legacy coach, brother, dad, all that kind of stuff. I think there is a loss there because this is the way it's supposed to be. Well, the way it's supposed to be in Florida. I think that you missed that tradition.
Well, I think that, like I said, I think at the end of the day, and I keep saying this, and you see teams consistently throughout the country that do more with less. And Ben has said it a million times. Florida is the best job in the country, hands down.
It is.
But you see. I just saw Kansas State do more with less. I saw SMU do more with less. Now they're not in the SEC, but it's all relative. I've seen programs. We've seen them on the field look more organized, looked more physical, look more prepared on a consistent basis year after year after year.
Yes.
And that is the issue. And that's why I think, there is something going on with the way things are being run. Do I want Billy Napier fired? Absolutely not. Because at my heart, I am a fan of the program, and no, we cannot keep changing coaches. But the way things have gone and the way things look to be going, it is going to be another long season, and we're going to be standing here doing this very same thing, and it has nothing to do with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stars. It has to do with what's going on in that Hefner Center, and you got 100 people with a Jordan shirt on. So many people that if you wanted to put on Jordan clothes and go to practice, you could probably be there for an hour before somebody would ask you who you were. That's the way it is. And I think that that's what's lost is ultimately 12 weekends in the fall is what matters. The fluff goes away once you kick it off.
Yes.
That's what is the issue. The fluff. Because ultimately that goes away and you're getting punts blocked and same guys on the field with the number, and you misplay a situation at the end of the game. All those things are what is evident. And like I said, with all due respect to anybody it's those things that are there.
All right, this fluff is going away. Okay, I gotta go. Good stuff. You guys can go without me if you want to. I gotta go.
We're gonna say goodnight. It's been late. We've gone 30 minutes of it.
You gotta tell Loren the name of your studio. He ain't heard the name of your studio.
Studio B for Brenden.
Studio B.
Studio B.
I'll tell you where the studio B on the street. Where the studio B.
Studio B.
I tell you, I want an Emmy.
Hey, somebody wants to say hello.
Take a picture.
Hey!
Hey, what's up, Dago?
Yeah. Basically, Loren got the missus on the camera. For those of you who say, what kind of decisions do I make for my life? This is what I make for my life. Dad, hate if you want to.
Barsha, the best wife ever.
Ever.
Loren gonna have to hear that every day. You heard it on the show, right?
You heard that shit, right? Did you, Loren? You heard it. You heard him say
She'll have her own show in a week.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Do it. She's the greatest Gator fan in the history. They run pump on Zorn Blues.
I'm going to tell you about Marin Star Medical Research. And I'm going to say goodnight, y'all.
Well, let's say goodnight to our boys. Ben, thank you very much for coming on the show tonight. It was always a pleasure. Thank we kept you late. We do appreciate it. Check out Ben Troupe on 84 Reasons Podcast. Ben Troupe, Loren, Coach.
Happy New Year, guys. Love you guys.
GatorBaitMedia.com. He writes there. He does everything else. Good night, sir. Happy New Year. Thanks for everything you've done for us this year. Love you, bro. And he's gone. All right, buddy. Let's talk about Red Star Medical Research.
Proven reputation is a high-quality, patient-centered clinical research facility. Red Star Medical Research brings cutting-edge clinical research trials to Ocala in areas like Alzheimer's, psoriasis, osteoarthritis, dementia, migraines, and fibromyalgia, along with many other conditions that affect us in our area. Since their inception in 1998, Red Star has participated in more than 700 clinical research trials and continues to partner with prominent pharmaceutical and biomedical companies throughout the medical industry. They want your participation because they want information, the DNA from right here in the area you live in. So if you'd like to join to be a part of this, you could get compensation for time and travel. Go to redstar.net, check out the ability you can have to join in the clinical research and find out what you need to do it. Red Star Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. Love you, Brenden. Good show.
Love
good
you,
job.
Good show. We will talk to Urban Meyer tomorrow. Buddy Martin. The great Buddy Martin. Seriously, the great Buddy Martin. All right. Have a nice time with your new dig. Good night, Dad. Love you. And then there's one. I got some chill music on to tell you all about something that you need to know about. First of all, you need to subscribe to GatorBaitMedia.com, and we've got a special way for you to do that. You go in and do All Access Annual right now. You get 20% off right now. Your All Access Annual membership, $79.20. Can't beat it. Best deal of the year. You read Franz Beard, you read Buddy Martin, you read I write sometimes. We've got the cast of thousands, and it's going to get better and bigger every year. Check it out right now. Go to GatorBaitMedia.com. Go and check out, get All Access Annual, get yourself 20% off. I am actually stopping this whole thing at the end of this year, so you better get on while you can. Make sure you subscribe to this show. Got to subscribe to the show. It's free. Come on, subscribe to the show. We need it. 67% of you do not subscribe to the show. Why? Because I'm watching. I'm like Santa Claus. I'm always watching you. Go ahead and bottom right over here. There's a little subscribe button. Check it out. You'll get updates about all things that you want to know and do. And that way we can keep track of you. Hey, Happy New Year to you all. It has been quite a year. It has been quite a year. It has. With everything else, cheers to my mama. You know, can't forget that. Drink to that. Pour one out for mom. We've been through the up and downs. We've been doing this for a minute. And I want you to know that we really appreciate all your support through the tough times. I know many of you out there have reached out to us and always, been with us since the GNK days and before that, since before Dan Mullen and the airport. What's that video, by the way? If you look down on YouTube, you can find that video. I posted it on there. So just a big heartfelt thank you and a happy new year to everybody. I want you all to know how much we love you and appreciate you. And we hope that you keep coming around in 2024. And we're going to hopefully have new and exciting stuff. And hopefully we'll get to talk about some more positive things. Because around here, at the end of the day, we're Gator fans. And like I like to say, and I'm going to say for the last time this year, well, probably last time since y'all are going to hear it, but for the last time this year, I want everyone to know that we wish you a happy and safe holiday, and go Gators. Dilly dilly, everybody.